Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Rajiv S. Khanna from immigration.com, the law offices of Rajiv S. Khanna, PC. We do a community conference call every Thursday, once on LinkedIn audio and once on our private bridge, which is where you are today. I'm going to get into the conference call questions already posted, but we got about 3 minutes before we get started. People, let's see. Area code 903, do you have a question? Press star 5 if you do. Area code 903, Texas. Okay. Area code 682, if you have a question, press star 5 on your phone. I just want to see if there is anything I can deal with beforehand. Okay, area code 903 has a question. Okay, 903, go ahead, please.
Hi, sir. My name is Ravi. I have a situation in which, I work in a cap exempt or a non-profit company,
Okay.
and we are merging with another non-profit company.
Okay.
And I'm in a cap exempt H1B.
Okay.
And do I need to do any? And there is no change to my job description, my position, my salary, my nature of work, or my reporting manager, or anything. There is no material change to anything. We will be still working in the same way.
Right.
So do I need to do anything in the situation when I'll become, when both our companies merge?
Well, first of all, it's good that you are going from one quota exempt to another quota exempt. So no matter what happens, unless the merged entity is, for some reason, a for-profit, you should be okay anyway. The other part of the question, so one part was the lottery idea, and the other part was what happens when merger and acquisition occurs. So normally, and this is just generically speaking, I don't know your transaction, whatever the merger transaction is, normally if the reporting structure, reporting space, the place where you'll be working, etc., are pretty much the same, chances are there is very little paperwork. So typically the merger and acquisition lawyers actually would have looked at it, and they should have looked at it. So I suspect that it's not going to be a lot of paperwork. You'll be fine. Okay?
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, I'm for your info. Sir, I'm in a non-cap exempt, sir. It's a non-profit company. It's a government entity.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Am I allowed to ask one more question, sir?
Yeah, we have a few seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Sir, my H1B was due for renewal on 4th of January 2024.
Okay.
So my general counsel wanted to renew it well before the merger happens, which is on the 1st of September.
Okay.
So we applied, and I got an RFE. So it's asking, is it a special skills needed and is a degree needed?
Right.
So will that affect, once we answer, it was on a premium processing, so even if we answer the RFE, and by the time they take a decision, September 1st will come in 7-8 days. So if at all, if the result doesn't come before the 1st of September, do I need to refile again, or we have to take back the application and restart the whole process after the
You should be okay. I can't comment exactly about your situation, but from what you are telling me, everything looks like it should be fairly easy to handle. But I can't say anything beyond that because I don't know the transaction exactly. All right? Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day, sir.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Let's get started. I'm going to first review the questions that have been posted already. There are, amongst those questions, there are some that I have marked as frequently asked questions. I'll deal with them first, and each time I answer a question, I will then ask if there is any follow-up questions. No new topics at that point of time, please. Only if there's a follow-up question. Let me begin with the first frequently asked question that has been posted. This is about green card processing, F1 visa, H1B transition, travel and work considerations. I'm on F1 visa, my spouse is on a green card. My green card through my spouse is under processing, I-130 under review. I'm graduating in May 2024. Number one, at what stage in my green card processing can I start traveling outside the USA? So first, let me answer that question generically, then let me focus on your situation. So typically, people have this misunderstanding that once the green card is started, you can't travel. Well, you can travel pretty much at any stage of the green card with different types of documents. The easiest rule of thumb to remember is that if you have an H1, H4, L1, L2 type stamp on your passport, you can travel at any stage of the green card process. Okay. Now here, the green card is through family based, which is your spouse, and you have a student status, so that could become a problem if you travel. So in your case, I would suggest travel only after you get either an H-1B visa stamping or you get advanced parole. Okay. Let us consider my green card is still under processing by the time I graduate and enter the job. Can my employer file an H-1 while my green card is under processing? Sure. There is absolutely no problem with that. A green card can be in process and H-1 can be filed. B, given my H-1B got picked, will there be any issue for me to travel to India to get my H-1B visa stamp? No, I don't think so. The pending green card is no hamper or no impediment to the grant of an H-1B visa because H-1B is a dual intent visa. Okay. This was the frequently asked question. If anyone has a follow-up question on what I just discussed, no new questions, a follow-up question, press *5 on your phone. Okay. The next frequently asked question, this is very important, difference between H-1B consular processing and change of status. This question I get asked at least once a week, sometimes more. So when I file for a conversion or when I file from, let me rephrase that. Somebody is on a student status and I apply for their H-1B. What actually I'm asking the government is two things. Typically, I'm asking the government, number one, please give me approval of my H-1B, which means I'm approved to be on H-1B. The second thing I ask the government is to actually convert me, to change my status from student to H1, F1 to H1. So within every H1, there are usually two requests. One is to hold me eligible for H1B, and two, to physically convert me from student status to H1B status. Okay. It happens, let's say that I have 2 more years left on my OPT STEM, and I don't want to convert to an H1B right now. I can convert maybe a few months down the road for whatever reason. Okay. Can I do that? Yes, you can. So what you do is when you file the H1B, you ask for H1B qualification, which is what you have to do. But instead of converting you to F1, you can say, I'll convert to F1 through consular processing. So please approve my case and send it to XYZ consulate. What does that do? That means even though your H1B is approved, you are still on student status and you will continue to be on student status until you physically go outside the US, get an H1B visa stamp and come back. Can you apply for a change of status also later on instead of going for visa stamping? Yes, but that's like reapplying the H1B. It's not a problem, but that's another way you can do that. So in other words, you can split the process. Be adjudicated to receive, eligible to receive H1B, but don't actually convert until you choose to do so through consular processing. Okay, I hope that's clear because that's a very common issue we face. Here the question is, I'm on my STEM OPT good till July 2024. H1B was picked March 22, approved August 22 last year. And my H1B was approved under consulate processing. I received I-797B. I asked my employer about it and got to know that I can change to H1 status whenever I intend to after my STEM OPT expires. You can actually change it within USA also. Okay, so that change of status is also possible. I'm planning to go to India in October for stamping. So I asked my employer to change my status to H1B and they mentioned COS is not needed. They are right. They are right. I can directly go on STEM OPT and get my H1B visa stamp. That is correct. They are correct. But most of them who I knew got approved by consular processing changed their status here. No, that's not required. Your employer is correct. Okay. Star 5, if you have a follow-up question on what I just discussed. No new questions at this time. Any follow-up questions? Okay, let's see. This is California. Yeah, California, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. That question is mine. So thanks for that explanation. The employer was right. I don't need to change this.
Right.
But I have one question. Since my OPT is still valid till 2024 July, right? So if my H1B does get stamped or they have an RFA or they just get refused, I can still come back to US based upon that STEM OPT, which is still valid till 2024, right?
That is correct. Yes, ma'am. You can. Okay.
Okay, so when I do a change of status, then I won't have an opportunity of coming back if my H1B is refused. But if I don't do the change of status and just go on consulate, then even if my H1 is refused, I have a probability of coming back on STEM OPT.
That is correct. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? All right. Good luck.
Yeah,
All right.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, so let's see if there's any other frequently asked questions. I don't think there are, so we can get into the regular questions. Okay, now I'm going to start looking at the regular questions that are not frequently asked. So this one, these two we dealt with. This is question number 4. Day 1 CPT, H4EAD, maternity benefits, eligibility and issues. I'm currently enrolled in Day 1 CPT, applied for H4EAD. The date I have selected for H4 is when I'm expected to go on maternity leave. Am I eligible to accept my maternity benefit payments from my organization when my status changes? So this is the way I look at it, Nikki. And by the way, congratulations on the baby. This is the way I look at it. See, you are getting paid for benefits that you have already earned. When you earned those benefits, you were on curricular practical training. So you earned them during legal status and you are spending them during the status which may or may not be work authorized yet, which is okay. So in my opinion, it should be fine. Okay. So as long as the maternity benefit payments are a part of the regular package that the employer provides to all employees, that should be okay. But I don't know exactly what other benefits you are talking about. So I can comment about the routine benefits that include payment of the salary and of course medical, etc. If those are what you're talking about, there should be no issue. But if you are receiving any income benefit from the state, somebody should look at it. I don't know how far that is allowed or not allowed. Routine maternity benefits are allowed. There's no question about that. Star 5, if you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Okay. Then we go on to the next question, number 5. I-140 approval and experience transfer addressing POM application priority date and experience listing concerns. My I-140 was approved with company 1. I've moved to company 2. Company 2 has already filed the POM. However, they did not include my experience from company 1. Since the company 2 offered POM position doesn't require any experience. So will it lead to any material representation while filling the I-140? Can we claim the priority date from company 1? Yeah, so basically the way I look at it is, if the new job doesn't require you to have any experience, I don't think there's a material misrepresentation, but I have to look at the current version of the form ETA 9089 to see what the form requires you to put down. If the form says put down your qualifying experience, you're okay to leave it blank. But if the form says list your experience in the last 5 years, then you should have listed all the experience. So I don't really know what the current version of the form says. Okay. If the perm required only 1 year of experience, do I still need to mention all 3 years? Again, it depends upon the language of the form. What I would recommend is read the instructions on the form, read the questions. If the questions require you to mention all experience, then you must mention all. If it says only the qualifying experience, then 1 year is enough. Okay. Star 5, if you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Okay. Delays in green card and travel document processing, solutions and timelines. Not much you can do. The problem with these delays is universal. It's not isolated. So it's not something you can do through a litigation. Very difficult to get around this problem. Unless you have an emergency reason to travel and you can document to the satisfaction of the government, it'll be difficult for you to make a case that you should receive some exceptional treatment. Yeah. And what is the normal time frame? You have to check that out. I don't know off the top of my head, but 11-12 months is quite common. Okay. I'm not sure why you have raised your hand, area code 469. I don't remember asking for an invitation. You're in Texas. Let me see what you're saying. Yes, sir. How can I help you?
I'm so sorry, sir. Yeah, I'm in Texas. I was the one actually who did post this question, and I just wanted to ask a follow-up.
Hanji, Hanji. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, like you said, the delay, it's been like 11, 12 months. If they decide to abandon their green card application process at this time, can they go back to their visitor visa without any residual effect?
Well, first of all, what you need to do is you don't have to abandon the whole application. You can leave the I-130 in play and you can abandon the 485. And because the I-130 is not yet approved, you can actually call the USCIS and ask them to convert it to consular processing.
Okay, got it.
Now, in the meantime...
And then this way they can go back and then...
Yeah, but the problem is, because of Section 222G, if they have stayed over their I-94 allowed on the B2, their B2 visa is automatically cancelled. They have to apply for a B2 visa again. And the waiting time in India is terrible for B2 visas. So that is the only fly in the ointment. Otherwise, it's an easy process. Okay. So,
okay. Yeah, they have stayed over I-94.
So that is the problem. Let them know that, mom, dad, then you may not be able to come without getting a green card, and that could be about a year and a half down the line.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Good luck. Okay. Next question is dealing with H-1B layoff, exploring status change I-539 form and timing. So there's a layoff. I'm currently on H-1B. The HR have extended my effective termination date to September 13th. I'll be receiving regular pay. There is no requirement for me to perform any duties. Yeah, so that's good enough. My wife is on F1 visa. With my termination date set for September 13th, does this imply I have an additional 60 days after September 13th? Yeah, because your 60-day grace period begins when your pay period during which you have been paid ends. Should I apply for B1, B2 later on? Yeah, of course. And you can go to my blog, on immigration.com. It tells you exactly what to write in the letter and what to file, etc. For the question, what date are you requesting your current or requested status be expanded? Put down 6 months from the date you file. That's all you're allowed. Regarding the question about employment history, you have to include your details, whatever they ask. Would I need to provide biometrics when applying? I have no idea. I think you do somewhere along the line. I don't get into all these details. Our team does. Referring to your blog, you mentioned including a cover letter. Could you clarify where the cover letter should be uploaded? I think isn't there a place for unsolicited documents or something like that, or additional evidence? Additional evidence would be appropriate, I think. How much time before the 60 days? I would say about 55 days into, if you're doing it online, 5 days gap is enough. Okay. Good luck. Star 5, if anyone has a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Okay, this is area code 571. I think it's in our neighborhood, Virginia. Go ahead, Virginia. I-571.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
This was posted by me. The only question I have is there a preference for, should I apply for F2 visa or D1, D2 visa? I think last time, I think F2 makes sense because my wife is on F2.
Yeah, I think so too. I think F2 makes more sense. Also because there's no 6-month limit on it. Okay.
Yeah, so the termination date also could be till my wife's I-20 expiration date.
Yes, in that case, yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Good luck. Area code 469. You are from Texas too? Yes, 469. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Rajiv, I had a similar question. So once we submit the form I-539, right? And a receipt is generated by USCIS, does the H-1B clock stop immediately?
Yeah, H-1B clock actually stops when your 60-day grace period begins. Why? Because typically your employer would have applied to revoke the H-1B. Okay, so they have to. That's required by law. So I would say you'll be fine. The H-1B clock. This is one of those latencies built into the system. The slight delay in things happening and cause and effect. So it's not real-time applications. These are applications that take time. So the clock technically should stop when the revocation occurs. And the revocation should occur as soon as the employer makes a decision. Okay? And typically what they will do is they'll coordinate your H-1B revocation with the last pay period. That's how all smart lawyers would do it. Okay. So I would say from the day your pay period ends should be the day your H-1B clock stopping.
Okay, and is there a way I can find out what was that date from my employer or some?
No, you can ask them. I mean, their lawyers should be able to tell you because they would have filed a revocation. Okay.
Okay.
That's
thank you so much.
Yeah. Good luck. Okay. Let's go on. You know what? Let me also lock the conference.
The conference is now locked.
Because we won't have too much time. Let's see. Next question, Vijay Krishna. H-1B visa and Day 1 CPT, managing degree completion and visa approval. I completed my master's in a STEM program in 2020. OPT expiring in June 2023. My application did not get picked up for the H-1B. In the first round, I joined Day 1 CPT. Second round, I got selected. Congratulations. Should I complete my day one CPT degree? Well, you can if you want. Can you put it on hold for 2 semesters after doing 2 semesters? Sure. Absolutely. There's no requirement that you have to finish your CPT, but if you are already committed to it somewhat and you've done some part of it, you could definitely put it on hold, and you can actually go to school even on H1B. That's allowed. Okay. I think I covered your question. Star 5 if you have a follow-up question on this. Press star 5. Okay, area code 813. Let's see where that is from. Florida. Okay. Yeah, Florida. Go ahead, please. Florida.
Yeah, hi Rajiv.
Hello.
Thanks for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the follow-up question on this, but it's slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, I am an initial master's and got my visa stamp on a university which offers day one CPT.
Okay.
But I was not aware of the situation back then when I was applying to the school.
Okay.
Later, when I joined the school here, I realized that they offer day one CPT. As this is my first master's, I didn't want to avail such kind of practice immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So going forward, down the line, after in the 7th month, I got an opportunity to work with an employer. He is a full-time employer in my assurance practice, audit practice. So I continued doing CPT for 9.5 months. Thereafter, post-completion OPT was approved during my graduation.
Mm-hmm.
And currently, I'm on my post-completion OPT.
Mm-hmm.
So my question here is, like, now in the second lottery, my H1 registration is picked up with the same employer whom I was continuing since my CPT and OPT.
Mm-hmm.
So while going through all the threats, I was worried, like, since my university is day one CPT and it's being my first master's, will there be any concern or do I need to be mindful of something?
You see, I hear a lot of nonsense about lawyers saying, oh, CPT is such a big deal and it's fraud and it's all that. Well, if it is fraud, why is it on the books? Okay. Sure, USCIS doesn't like this. They don't like people misusing CPT. That's why I always tell people, make sure that the CPT is enhancing your career. This is your first master's, okay? Personally, I don't think it's a big deal, okay? I think if the curricular practical training is available through school, obviously the school is acting on behalf of the government. Why shouldn't I take it? It's a benefit that is available. So, in my opinion, you should be fine. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Because I was being confused because since my visa was approved on the same college or on the same school, and thereafter people here around me are like confusing, and even the employer attorney got confused by reading like on the online articles. So just I wanted to touch base with you on this thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. Go for it. Go for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck, sir. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Next one is Syed Shahabuddin. Correcting name error. First name unknown for Canadian citizen brother sponsored in 2009. My daughter sponsored her brother in 2009. He's a Canadian citizen since last few years. Okay. Due to some error, somewhere immigration always writes FNU, first name not available, before my son's name. How can this be corrected? Well, there are several ways to correct this. It depends upon how deep you want the correction to be. Okay. One of the easiest ways to do it is to do it through a local court system if he's already here. If he's not already here, the best way for the name correction is every time you file the forms for any purpose for immigration for him going forward, put down his name the way you want it. And then where it says other names used, put down FNU. Okay. So I think that should fix the problem. But like I said, the other way to do it is to just go through the local court system and do a formal name change request. and a local court will ask you to typically place ads in the newspaper. You don't even need a lawyer for these procedures usually, and they'll give you a court order. With that court order, you can make USCIS give new paperwork with the correct name in there. Okay. *5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press *5. Next question, Anu, that's number 2. H-1B lottery success and OPT considerations, evaluating multiple offers and future concerns. As an international student on F1 completing masters in CS, 3 H-1B registrations, all 3 software engineer roles. Got picked up by one company in the second round. Not sure if the 3 companies had any tiniest connections in the past, but they don't have any connection now. The company from which I got my H-1B selection did not do multiple registrations. I'm applying for my OPT concurrently. Would there be any issues with my OPT if problems should arise with my H-1B? No, I don't think so. Should I proceed with the filing or not? Anuji, that depends upon the degree of certainty you have that there is no connection between the companies. I don't know about the past or the future or the present. The bottom line is, if there is no connection in the companies, then applying for an H-1B is an obvious choice. Why not? Why shouldn't you do it? Okay, go for it. But always talk to your lawyers. Make sure they've looked at every angle. Did you pay any money? How many other applications were filed? Are these companies related, which is what we were just discussing? Are there any related projects? Are there any stockholder crossovers, etc.? All those should be looked at. But as long as all that is clean, I would say apply. Why not? *5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press *5. Okay. Next question, number 11. H-1B renewal, employment-based green card, and returning to the US. I'm currently on H-1B in USA. The company I'm employed with is going to apply for my H-1B renewal and my green card next year. Considering moving back to India, what are my options to return to USA? If the company where I'm employed currently is willing to let me work from India, can I do so on my current H-1B? Sure. I think I'll write a quick article on this. There are some issues that have come up on this. But yeah, that's definitely an option. And you don't even have to be on H-1B. You can give up your H-1B and still work for this company from India. Can my ongoing green card still continue if I work from India? Yes, it can. Is there any benefit or ease of return to wait for my H-1B renewal and EB green card application to be completed? I love it if your I-140 is approved for 180 days before you leave. That would really secure you completely. So let your perm be approved, let I-140 be approved, let it stay approved for 180 days, then leave. That would be ideal. If I stop working for a US company for a few years and in the future I decide to work again for a company, do I need to participate in the H-1B lottery again? Not if your I-140 is approved. Otherwise you might. Because the duration of the lottery exemption is 6 years. Moreover, can I use the unused H-1B through my current employer with a different employer? Yes, you can. You can use the remaining H-1B with any employer. And also, if the I-140 is approved and stays approved for 180 days, you can get extension beyond 6 years with any employer, not just this employer. And that's true even if they revoke your H-1B. Okay. *5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press *5. Okay. And number 12. I think we just have a couple of questions more. Yeah, there's 15 questions posted. We are on 12. Then we'll start the new questions. I-485 application from H4 and H1B grace period implications. I have an approved I-140. My date becomes current. can I apply for I-485 from H4 status? Yes, you can. Or do I have to convert to H1B? No, you don't. During the 60-day grace period for H1B, can spouse on H4 EAD continue working? No, they can continue working, yes. Because you are still maintaining status, technically speaking, in the 60-day grace period. Okay. Star 5, if you have a follow-up question, press star 5. Number 13, switching jobs on green card EAD consequences for H4 spouses entry and validity. Yeah, if you go on EAD, then she's no longer on H4. Yeah. Yeah, if you start using your EAD, she is no longer on H4. She can't enter on H4. Press star 5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Okay. Number 14. Changing future plans in EB2 NIW application. Impact of rejection and revised approach. I applied for EB2 NIW and mentioned continue to work in his domain as my future plans. Application has been rejected. Now if I apply again, starting my own company as the future plan, yeah, that's okay. You can change your future plans, but I think you need to talk to a lawyer. NIW is a lot more than just putting down a few words. These are very vague words. They don't convey the idea that you're going to do something for the United States. Okay. Can you change your plans? Sure you can. That's not a problem. Star 5 if you have a follow-up question. Star 5. Okay. And the last question is OPT STEM visa travel questions, re-entry, visa validity and stamping. I've approved OPT STEM visa valid till 24. I have a valid passport till 29. Can I get updated endorsed I-20 from SDO? You mean DSO? An employment verification letter. I would like to travel to India. Is it safe to travel to India or come back before visa expiring? Well, if you have maintained your status all the way through and you get your I-20 endorsed for travel through your DSO, there are no other negative implications in your background, I don't see any problem. I would not go for F1 stamping again if I were you. I would rather have you come back on the existing F1 visa life. Okay. Star 5 if you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Very well. There is a question from, let's see, 863, area code 863 is Florida. Yeah, Florida, go ahead, please.
Hi, sir. I have a question. I posted that. My H1B got picked, but I did not send my documents for any approval.
Okay, ma'am, hold on 1 second. That has nothing, ma'am, that has nothing to do with what I discussed. So wait your turn, please. I think you'll be one of the first people I'll call on anyway because you logged in fairly early. So please wait. Anybody has any question, press star 5 on your phone. Anyone has any question, press star 5. Okay, Florida, you're still going to be number 1. I just want to make sure everybody else is put in the line. All right. I have total of 6 hands raised. So we'll do these 6 issues and then we'll close for today. Florida, go ahead, ma'am. Florida, go ahead.
Sorry, I posted the 15th question, so I was asking.
Oh, you posted the 15th question. Sorry, my mistake. I thought you were asking a new question completely because you started talking about the H1B.
No.
Haji, bolo. What can I do for you?
So I was asking, my H1B got picked this year, but I don't want to apply for it. So I withdrew my application. Is it going to affect the travel or my stamp status when I return?
Just because you opted out of a selection should have no impact on your visa or re-entry. No impact. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay, now let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me see who's next. Give me 1 second. I think Raleigh, North Carolina is next. Yes. Yeah, North Carolina, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
So I had a question regarding H1 application. So this is for my husband. He's currently doing his so he was supposed to complete his PhD in this fall semester, and in the meantime, since he had an offer, the company applied for his H1, which got picked up in the second lottery.
All right.
Now, the way it happened was like his master's and PhD degree, he would get it towards the end of the program, which is this December.
Okay.
And right now, the lawyers are asking for the master's degree. So, but we don't have a degree to show that the master's is done, although the course requirement and all the degrees for master's is completed and PhD only the defense is remaining. So what happens in that scenario? Like,
well,
we don't even know at this.
Hang on. So let me understand. Let me make sure I've got your question. Your husband applied under the master's degree quota, right?
We don't know in which quota, but like even when the first time when the lawyers asked, since it was a PhD, probably they did it in master's quota. But
So-
I don't know if in the first lottery
Okay.
they asked
Okay.
for the quota
Hold
or
on.
not.
Hold on. All right. So the most that could have happened is that your lawyers applied for master's degree quota. The law only requires that on the date you apply for the H-1B petition itself, your master's degree should be finished. So if you get a letter from the school that says your master's degree is finished and all the course requirements are done, nothing remains, that should be good enough.
Okay, like even if the degree certificate comes towards
That's okay.
in
That
later
happens.
after.
That happens all the time. That's not a big deal at all.
Okay,
All right.
okay, but just a letter should do.
Yeah, letter from
Okay,
school that
thank you.
says
That's perfect.
you're welcome, ma'am. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's go to Texas 469. Go ahead, please. 469, go ahead. Texas 469. Hello? I have two 469s actually from.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah, go ahead. How can I help you?
Hi. So I wanted to ask a question. So my spouse is changing his status from H1B to F2, and while filling out the form I-539, what should be his end date? Since my I-20, since I just graduated, so my I-20 end date is May 2023, but my F1 visa end date is July 2026.
Is there a possibility to put their DS? Is that allowed, or do you have to put numbers?
Numbers?
Well,
Yeah, I have to put numbers.
if you have to put numbers, you said and you are going to go into OPT, ma'am? Is that the plan? What are you going to do?
Yes. Yes,
So,
I'm
and-
going to go into OPT.
And your OPT is going to be 1 year, right?
Correct.
So I would put down the end date of the OPT as the date.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Yes. Thank you.
I have another one from area code 469. Are you guys the couple, or is this a new question? Area code 469, go ahead. There were two 469 numbers dialing in. Hello? You
Hi,
have-
Rajiv ji. Can you hear me?
Haji, I can. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Rajiv ji, I had a quick follow-up question on the form I-539, actually. So you mentioned about the template on your blog, right? So is there a way you could quickly review the contents of that for me?
No,
Not
no,
over the
no.
call, but I could just email it to you or
No,
something.
no. I don't do that. Then I'm responsible for the whole case. No. We can't do that. We've given you guidelines on what to do. And that's all I can do.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like asking a surgeon, can you put the
Sounds good.
stitches? I'll do the surgery, you put the stitches. Well, the surgeon is responsible for the whole thing. Can't do that. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. No problem. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. And don't worry, you can't screw this up. I mean, it will be really difficult to screw it up. So don't worry too much. Okay.
Okay. Thank you once again.
You're welcome. Area code 617. I believe that's Boston? No, Massachusetts. Yeah, Massachusetts. 617, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajiv, sir. First of all, thanks a lot for everything you're doing, giving us this opportunity.
Stop
So,
calling
I'm a
me
master's
sir.
graduate.
Just call me Rajiv, please. Ji. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm currently on first year of OPT, and I also have STEM part of my degree.
Okay.
So I'm working at the food bank as a data engineer. I wanted to know if we can apply from the CAP exempt H1B,
Right.
because we're a non-profit, but not sure if there's any university or research affiliation that is required. That's what
that is the problem. Non-profit by itself is not enough. It has to be non-profit research or non-profit affiliated with an institution of higher learning. So the food bank may not be exempt by itself. No, sir. Okay.
Okay. So we need documentation to prove that. And also, would you recommend using a local lawyer, or is it okay to use like a remote?
No, it doesn't matter. Any lawyer anywhere is fine. Yeah, there's no local magic here.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something you need to worry about. All right?
All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck to you. Let's see. The next one is area code 616, which is Michigan. Let me find 616. Yeah, area code 616, Michigan. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Hello, Rajiv. I just have a question related to EV2 and NIW.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm planning to apply for that in the premium processing.
Okay.
And I just wanted to know, I guess it gets approved, the I-140 gets approved after 15 to 30 days. So how much time do I have before filing the change of status if it gets approved? Because I'm also planning to, leave the United States for some time, like in December.
Which country were you born in?
Pakistan.
Good man. If you had said India, I would have said 15 years. Okay. So Pakistan goes with the rest of the world. Okay. Because it goes with the rest of the world, whatever the dates for the rest of the world for EB2 are, those would be the dates you would have to wait. Right now, the dates are all messed up. I would say starting November, December, things should even out. So up until a few months ago, everything was current for everyone, including Pakistan. And adjustment of status can be filed when the date becomes current. The dates for filing become current. Okay. So there are two dates, right? There are two dates, right? There are the final action dates and dates for filing. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you will look at the visa bulletin. Okay. You look at the visa bulletin every month. And in the month that you see that the dates for filing are current, you can file. And the way the visa bulletin works is, around the middle of the month, it declares the dates available for the next month. So in August, it will tell you what you can do in September. In September, it will tell you what you can do in October. So you have all of that month to file the case. So in September, if it says your dates are current in October, October 1st to October 31st, you can get your petition filed. And you can file even if the I-140 is still pending.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. I was just wondering, like, if I file for the change of status and if I'm not in the US, then,
No, you can't. Then you can't file.
Something like
No.
abandoned.
Adjustment of status can only be filed if you are in the United States in valid status.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. And the other question is regarding the recommendation letter that you have to provide them for NIW I-140.
Mm-hmm.
So does my endeavor has to match, like, whoever is recommending me, and those letters should specify things matching my endeavor as well?
Well, see, you have to understand what is a national interest waiver. Okay. Let me put you on hold. Let me answer the other person their call, and then I'll come back to you. Let me go to Connecticut because yours might last a little longer. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Connecticut, you can go ahead and finish it up. Connecticut, 860.
Yeah, hi Rajiv.
Hello.
So, yeah, hi. So, Rajiv, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, okay. So this is my second master's, and I know that I don't have OPT. So I'm about to complete, like, this is the last week of my internship. I completed all my coursework. This CPT was part of the program. This is not a day one CPT program, a regular. So I applied for a PhD program. I got selected and as a research assistant. So I'll be starting next week as a research assistant.
Okay.
On the university's payroll with all the benefits, insurance and all.
Okay.
The trick is my H1B got picked up in the second round. And the company where I was doing my CPT, that it's still on, like tomorrow it ends. They want to hire me by hook or crooks. They're saying that come because we need you.
Well,
and,
I'll tell you something.
They are willing to support everything for the H1 filing.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. It makes absolutely good sense to go with the H1B. Okay, because remember, you can do your PhD part time while still you're on H1B. You can have the best of the two worlds. The reason I would rather have you do an
I hear you.
Yeah, the reason I would have you do I'm giving you the advice I would give my own brother. Okay, because the way I look at it, getting your H1B through chances are less than 20%, less than 16% almost. Okay, so if you are getting your H1B, damn it, just take it. That really opens up all kinds of doors for you.
Right. So, but the only issue is why I called, because by the time my H1 petition is filed and it's approved, let's say assume October mid or something, I would be already on the payroll because I don't know, it's uncertain. So my payroll will already start, right? The university will start paying me. So then when my H1 is approved, I have to give it up because can I take money as a research assistant and also do my H1 work full time? No, right?
You can if the university processes a concurrent H1B for you. Okay, but the problem is they won't be able to do a concurrent H1B because they probably don't pay you prevailing wages. So I think you're going to have to let go of the university thing and just get the H1B processed. Just have your lawyers review your case, make sure they are comfortable that this will get approved. We can tell pretty much whether an H1B is going to get approved or not. If you are filing as a data scientist, make sure you discuss it with me. Do not file the case without that. Okay. H1Bs for data scientists
Thank you so much.
Data scientists H1Bs are very tricky. There are 80% refusals. Okay.
How about data analyst?
Similar problem. But if you say data analyst, you can be a data analyst who's more like a systems analyst, which means not just looking at the data, but the whole system. That is much easier. So that's why I told you don't file this case without a proper review. I've done so many consultations on these denials. I can tell you lawyers are not thinking right about these cases. All right.
Sounds good. So okay, I would email you. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Good luck. So let me get back to my...
Thank you.
You're welcome. let me go back to my, what we're talking about, Michigan. National interest waiver, right? One second, let me just make sure I got the right person. Yeah. Okay, Michigan, can you hear me? Michigan?
Yes, I can.
Acha, okay. So,
Yes, I can.
So basically, what is a national interest waiver? Technically, there are 4 criteria, but really I look at 2. Number 1, what you are going to do is going to be in the US national interest, not in local interest, not in the interest of a particular company, but national interest. Okay. So typically, national interest is easier to prove if you are working either in the public sector, like for a government agency, or you are working in the academia, like for the universities. Okay. Number 2, what is it that you are going to do? Actually, no, that's a part of the first process only. What is it that you're going to do that is better than what other normal people will do? So not only am I an, AI developer, I'm also very experienced in large language models, which very few people are. Okay. And I've done everything from neural network programming to training models and refining, etc. Okay. The next thing, the second item that I look at is there interest in the United States in your work? So typically, if you already have a job offer, that means there is interest in the US. If not that, then you have a project and there are US companies who are willing to work with you. That's what a national interest waiver looks like. So the question is, reference letters should come from people in my field. Well, they've got to know what they're talking about, right? Make sense?
Yeah, so let's say in the past I was working as a software engineer, so I have people working with me as a software engineer. They can recommend me better for that. But
yes,
for Endeavor, I'm talking about something different, like let's say data science or AI. So will their recommendation work for?
I think it will work.
That's what Harris does.
Yeah, I think it will work because these are all circles within circles.
Yeah.
These are not circles divorced from each other. These are just wider and smaller circles. So what is AI? AI is a part of technology. Okay. What kind of technology? Computer science, computer engineering, data science, decision sciences. These are all kissing cousins, So that could work.
Makes sense.
All right. Very good. Anything else I can help you with?
No. Thank you so much.
The very best of luck to you. And guys, happy Chandrayaan, everyone. That was very impressive. I'm telling people I did all the math on that. And I'm sticking with that. Good luck, everyone. And I'll see you again next week on LinkedIn. Bye-bye.